Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another FANCAM. I'm here joined by Ali. How you doing, bro?
Good, brother. How are you? You alright?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, not too bad. Obviously, we just made it through to the semi-finals. It was a very poor performance, let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. Mate, what were your thoughts on the game?
Very dire game. It wasn't exciting at all.
Shit.
It was very frustrating to watch. The boys looked really tired. Um, I think they just lack a bit of rest, even though they had probably a week off or so, probably 2 weeks, but you can just see they look shattered. There wasn't much fluidity. There wasn't much sharpness of sort of play. Second half looked better. I think second half we saw a sort of change in sort of formation, but generally it wasn't the most enjoyable game to watch.
Do you still put Tannis down as an excuse? Because I'm going to be honest, I said in the watch along as well. I don't know. They've had 10 days off. Like, I know they've played so many games. I know they've played a stupid amount of games, but they've still had enough time off. Like, for me personally, I feel like most of them players are almost. I suppose you could make a case for a few, but I feel like a few of them are hiding behind that excuse, and they're not. They're not. They just weren't good enough, really. Like, for example, Bruno and Rashford, I thought in particular were absolutely shocking today in so many different aspects.
No, Rashford was terrible because a lot of them didn't have their sort of. I think as soon as we started COVID, as soon as you came up from the COVID break, you saw a real freshness, a real sharpness, of play. But then it sort of dipped completely. And Rashford's form in the last month or so has been really scary. It's been really worrying. Nothing sort of played off for him. Bruno, where he sort of makes those killer passes, the ball seems to be slightly overweight. It's a missed pass. In the second half, he made a breakaway. He could have it was a simple pass to Greenwood and just didn't have anything on it. So I think in the back of the mind, obviously they know they've obviously qualified for sort of Champions League next year. But then again, you're going for a trophy, and that should motivate you. Like I said, you're only 2 games away now. You should be going for that 100%. But yeah, there were a lot of players that were just completely off form today.
What were your thoughts on the way Oli approached the game? Like, for me personally, I thought it was very negative, and I was very disappointed the way we, set up very early on. It looked like we were almost giving them too much respect in a way.
Yeah, completely. Obviously, we knew they were going to be a pressing team, so we knew that they were going to sort of come at us. But again, I still think we played Pogba too deep. There should be that confidence. Say Bruno and Paul go a little bit more forward, be a little more sort of attacking and daring, knowing that we can contain them at the back. They weren't anything magnificent going forward. They obviously had a few chances, but I still feel the setup is quite negative. Obviously, he changed Matic for Fred, but then again, they're just sitting too deep. You don't need Pogba and Fred sitting that deep. Just say, Fred, your job is just to sort of mop up. Pogba get forward. In the second half, when you saw the second half, you saw Pogba get a lot more forward. You saw a lot more sort of play, a lot more play coming out of both of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, again, it's just I said it throughout the Premier League games anyway. We don't need two holding midfielders. You don't need both of them sitting so deep. Just let one unleash alongside Bruno, and just play alongside him.
What do you put that down to? That because obviously my brother was saying, and a lot of the fellow United fans are saying he just doesn't trust the DM to do that role, which obviously we know how important that role is. But I just don't see why he's not allowed. Like you said, when in the second half we eventually start to look like we're going to create chances, we look like we're going to score, and on another day we would have scored more because the keeper was obviously fantastic, which was fair play to him. But just I just don't understand the reason why he's doing it. I just thought against Copenhagen as well. If you're not going to do it against Copenhagen and be a bit more ambitious, then when is he going to do it?
That's the thing. I'm not sure what he's worried about. It's the fact that defensively we look okay. I wouldn't say we look strong, even though the record would say that we've done really well sort of defensively. There's still lapses of concentration, and I think he's worried that if he lets one of them go forward, he doesn't trust the Matic or the Fred or the McTominay to actually handle and do that job sort of precisely for them to do it. So I think he's worried that, okay, I need another man to sort of help alongside or just in front of the defence, knowing that the players, the four up front, can do what they've got to do. But at times, like I said, it's Copenhagen. They're not a great team.
Come on,
you should be pressing them. Again, the keeper had he had a game. Just the game of his life, really. He but you've got to have the confidence saying, you know what, it's Copenhagen. We should be able to press a lot more forward. And the same. There's a couple of games in the Premier League as well where you felt as though you could have just let both of them unleash. Just let Bruno and Pogba play up front, a little bit more advanced, knowing that you've got Fred, Matic, Lindelof, by whoever it is at the back. It just doesn't seem aggressive as a manager in terms of having that confidence in his players and saying, you know what, attack up the four up front. We know they can do it.
Yeah.
But then when we get caught out in midfield, you've got to say, you know what, we can do it. It's just Copenhagen.
I think that's the thing that frustrated me. On the watch along, I was getting really pissed off on my match section. I've got pissed off as well. Like, at the end of the day, man, what are we doing? Like, we're giving respect to a team that's got. They must have looked at this picture thinking, bloody hell, we got Man United here. Look at their front three. They got Bruno now. They got Pogba, man. This is going to be a long night. And then, if you didn't know which team was which, you think they were basically obviously the better team and not the underdog. You would have thought we look scared, and that's because Oli approached this game in such a negative way. And you know how much of a massive Oli fan I am, but today he was tactically inept, man, for being that fully that there's no defending it. But I just want to touch upon one thing that he did change. Obviously, he put Bayern for Lindelof, which I didn't really see coming. But the most important one, the interesting one, Fred for Matic. What was your thoughts on Fred's performance? Because I personally had him actually down as man of the match until he came off.
He actually did really well. I thought Bailly had a good game as well. Obviously, they seemed a lot more fresher. And obviously, Fred gives you that sort of energy that Matic doesn't. So it was good to see Fred get some minutes. Obviously, Matic does need a rest, etc. But obviously, Fred looked upset when he sort of came off anyway. But I think Bailly and Fred had some good games, really.
Yeah, so I completely agree. I did notice that Fred looked a bit pissed off, and I was surprised he got taken off because, like I've actually said that Fred was my man of the match. I know obviously the game went on for almost 70 minutes after him going off, but I still think that he just broke up play so well, and obviously, like you mentioned, the importance of us trying to release Pogba further forward. I've got two questions I want you to finish on. The first one is, who's your man of the match and why?
The keeper should actually get it. The keeper had it. No one really saw it that much, but I think Martial was a threat when he actually got in the box. He did look very aggressive in terms of his play, etc. But again, Fred obviously came off, Bailly obviously came off, but I think Martial, especially in the second half of the game when Rashford really sort of dropped off, I think Martial was definitely, for me personally, man of the match.
And the second question I've asked everybody as well, who would you rather play in the semi-finals, Wolves or Sevilla, if you had a choice?
I'd say Wolves.
Everyone said that. Literally every single person said Wolves as well.
The reason why, whenever we play a Spanish team, we always get played off the park. Remember Bilbao years ago played us off the park. Sevilla a couple of years ago also really did sort of well against us as well. So
dark times, that one.
Yeah, don't go back there. I just think Wolves. I think Wolves attacking. They don't score that many goals. I think we can probably contain them. We know what their strengths are. We know what their weaknesses are. They've had a very good season. They've been going on since probably June of last.
They're probably more tired than us, aren't they?
They're going to be shattered. And obviously, like I said, I don't think they've got many sort of goals in them. Where I think if we play Sevilla, a very strong possession team, they'll play us around the circle. Especially like I said, with the legs we've got right now.
Yeah.
One circles around us, so I'd say Wolves. And I think I saw a couple of our fan cams and they were saying Wolves as well. But
yeah, literally everyone said Wolves and the exact same reason. And now, obviously, I'll be honest. Prior to having this convo with you guys, I wasn't sure, but after listening to your guys' reasons, I do agree. Actually, I think it does make sense because obviously we know Wolves inside out. Although they're a bulky team for us, but Sevilla are gonna they'll probably play us off the park, and that's the last thing we play today. But Ali, just one thing to finish off. Do you want to plug your shares? Yeah,
so again, like I said, we can get this season's football kits. Name and number on the back. It's £40. We get delivered nationwide. We do also do kids kits. The kids kits come with shorts. That's similar sort of price. We look about £35 for that as well. General delivery is about a week, so very quick sort of transactions times. We can do the Black Lives Matter logo if you want that as well. So it's a great plug. So like I said, just drop us a message and we can sort you guys out for sure.
Yes. As always, his link is in the description. So make sure you show him some love. Like I said, £40, man. The kids are absolute extortionate. Otherwise, mate, you're saving about 25, 30 quid. Man. Exactly, light work. Anyways, apart from that, catch us back with a flipping another fan cam in a second, but obviously with the podcast tomorrow. Thank you very much, Ali, for your time. We'll catch you soon, inshallah, brother. Take care. Peace.